Hi, it's Coach MK. I'm sitting here in a dark room with my surgery scars and my thinks in the dark pretty much because our east-west facing house does not have air conditioning at the moment while we wait for the repairman. So the only way to keep me from boiling alive is to shut all the windows and keep all the curtains drawn. Yay! Mercury's still in retrograde, but change is coming. It's almost August. Yay! I can certainly hope that August is a little bit less of a poop show than July was. I'm ready to leave July firmly behind me. If you have fallen off the wagon, if you're a little bit behind where you thought you wanted to be, where you hoped to be, no, it's not you. Life happens. And when we talk about running, we talk about it as though it's just this easy thing to do if you just want enough and willpower and blah, blah, and blah. And I really just want to throw all of that aside for a minute and talk about me, really, and let that be a little bit of insight to the framework you use to evaluate yourself, okay? Because you are anything but a failure. Especially if you're here hitting the reset button on August the 1st, I'd say you're a badass. A gigantic badass. Do not doubt it. So, put my glasses on so I can read some of the script a little bit. I am not yet professional enough to not need them. So excuse me while I go all MK on you for a minute. Willpower is a false construct. That means it's made up. It doesn't exist. Psychologists all pretty much agree. It's not about how badly you want something or how much you shame yourself into it. You are not going to pick up a new habit because someone shamed you into it. I smoked for a while. A lot of people shamed me about it. It was dirty and stinky and gross and it was going to kill me. But that has nothing to do why I was smoking. I was not smoking because I was suicidal and because I really liked being dirty and gross. It was just an ineffective argument. It was, in fact, something I still miss only because it was something to do with my hands, ADHD. It was an excuse to walk out of a room, massive social anxiety. It was a solution, and there's nothing quite like it out there. Any other excuse a woman, I feel that is acceptable as a woman that won't be pushed back against, was taken away from me the second that I decided, rightly so, to quit smoking. I remember how hard it was to break that habit. I know how hard it is to create a new habit, and having spent realistically about 5 weeks completely in bed recovering from this surgery, I'm acutely aware how hard it is to acquire a new habit. If you have not done that gracefully yet, congratulations, you're human. Most people don't show the struggle, and I share pretty much too much everything, which I hear is what most people don't do on social media with the TMI stuff. So allow me to TMI me so that you don't really have to. You aren't here because you lack willpower. You aren't here because you need something that you just haven't been able to get at any of the other getting places you've gone to. You're not needy. You're the opposite of needy. Sarah, I don't know if you're going to get a mantra out of this, but I think you just might. The truth is, running isn't simple. It never was. It is true that it is the lowest hanging fruit for most people, but it's not just one habit that you need mental strength and willpower. And if you don't have the habit, then you need more strength or more willpower or more mental fortitude. It's just that's not how it works. It really, really isn't. That's terrible logic. That is downright abusive. And I resent it whenever I hear it. It's baked into our culture for sure that more is better because it isn't less. And I think that's ridiculous. And it's so common you might not notice it, but it's not okay. It's never okay, and that's not what you're going to get here with me ever. So running is low-hanging fruit for most people, and that's true. You really don't need to go buy expensive equipment or have a dedicated room in your house for aforementioned expensive equipment. You don't need a membership. You don't need a per-session fee or really the expertise of a one-on-one coach. You don't. I mean, what you do need is what you're going to get here. Validation, reinforcement, and a safe, accessible space to ask questions and receive answers from someone who knows what they're talking about and is invested in your continued development. And development does not mean performance. To me, development means that you keep going with this brand new shiny habit that you're so proud to have. Whether or not, like how I judge me, will never be contingent upon your finish times. You will never be reduced to any number. It won't, not pace, not weight, never age. And I like age, be proud of that, by the way. That is a gift not given to many people. So no, I'm never going to color my hair. I'm going to wear these stripes with pride. It is a gift Look at my gift, y'all. Here I am, still standing, still running. Just like you. So even though this is low-hanging fruit, and this is something that I've been doing for roughly better part of 35 years, I need a checklist. For what? All the little supporting habits that you have to have in order to make running one habit. And that list is pretty long. It's going to be in a downloadable PDF in the membership area of the website very, very soon. But it's making sure that your alarm is set and making sure that your clothes are laid out the night before, or that they're packed, the work clothes are packed if you jog, commute to work. Whatever it is to take, there are lots of little steps in between. And if any one of them falls apart, the run might not get done. So getting all of those steps on lockdown, that's a whole lot of little habits. And for me, that's in the form of a checklist, the only checklist in my house. And it's by my bed every night before I get in it, so that this person who's been doing this for 35 years, remembers to do them all. Because until you've been doing and practicing this for a while, all of those little habits are not instinctual. And it's not going to come on day 1. It's probably going to come on day 22 or 32. It takes time, so give yourself grace. Whatever metric you've used to determine that you're behind is incorrect. You are by no means behind. And just because you've done this before does not mean it should be instinctual or easy now. Again, been doing this longer than most. I'm still having to go back and reprogram a lot of these habits. If I can't do it yet, that doesn't mean I won't, and it doesn't mean you won't either, and it doesn't mean you're failing. You are absolutely not failing. So again, let that sink in. After 6 weeks off, it feels like I'm starting over from scratch. I have to go to bed super early. No sugar at night because it makes it hard to get out of bed the next morning. I have to lay out my clothes, charge my watch, make sure my strap, hat, glasses, stryd are all near where the kids can't see them or hide them, and that I can get them on my body and sneak out the door before they wake up, because those kids never love me more than when I'm about to walk out the door and do something that does not involve them. Then I'm the most interesting person in the world. It's crazy. So the more complicated the habit, the less likely it is to stick. Because I don't know if you just heard, that's a whole lot of habits, little habits I just ticked off on my fingers that have to be done every day in order for a run to get done. The hardest of which, even for me, is getting up early. I've been living like a college student, working late. Putting that discipline back on myself is no easier for me than it is for anybody else, even though I am very much a morning person. It's hard to be a morning person when you've been up till 3 a.m., working through an idea, going, Susan, Sarah. They love me. They love me. Just kidding. I love you ladies, and I appreciate your patience with me so much, by the way. So if this running thing still feels like you're struggling for it, rest assured you're not alone, you're not behind, you're not failing, you're not malfunctioning in any way. What we are doing is creating a pattern, as simple a pattern as possible, because predictability might be a little bit boring at worst, but we can take boring. Predictability breeds all those little habits that lead to success. Knowing this, knowing ahead of time that Thursday and Sunday are your off days, makes planning a breeze, because that will never ever change. We are not reinventing the wheel month after month. There are only so many planes of motion that your body can be in a period of time. I have not created a fourth dimension, and I really don't want that kind of power. That sounds like a lot of responsibility too. No thanks. OMG. So what we're doing by not reinventing the wheel every month is effectively laying the groundwork for a habit that we hope could become a lifelong one that prolongs your health, that gives you a little bit of breathing room, quite literally alone time. For me, it's like the only time during the day when there's no one in my head or asking questions or coming at me, when I'm really not worried about what I'm missing. I could be taking a shower and I'm worried that my phone is there. I'm looking to see if it rang. Anything else that I do, anything at all, I'm nervous because I'm missing something else except for my run. My run is my me time. I guard it. I protect it like a jealous child, and I won't let anyone come near it. And it is my hope that over time, you'll do the same with that precious, precious real estate on your calendar. That's my run. It is not movable. No, I can't be there at this time. Step off and stop asking. Yay. So the main variation that we're going to have from month to month are the hard effort workouts, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. Do not assign these workouts more importance than they deserve, because you know what? Strength is key for everyone. It's the single most important thing you can do each day. If you are like, I want to get better or faster, then great. The answer will always be do the strength. Double down on the strength, do the strength. Get really good about the strength. Faster is going to come from that strength much more quickly with less chances of injury than anything else you do, because everything else you do carries the chance of injury. So if you go treating this program like everyone out there and making the same decisions you would have done in any other program, you're going to get the same results you did on any other program, and you're probably here because you probably got hurt or didn't quite do all of the training because it was too much on any other program. Yet, it's interesting. Coach Sarah ran 44 miles last week. She's in week 10 of marathon training program, and with our 10-week plans, that's effectively the first week of it. So I tell you that to tell you this: she ran more miles in week 1 for a marathon training plan than she probably ever has in week 1 or week 10 successfully in marathon training plan. Because you see, what we're doing here is we're making it possible to run more than you ever have. I don't really care if you're running faster on a day-to-day basis than you ever have. That's a vanity metric, especially in August, especially when it's hot, especially when it's miserable and terrible outside. The thing to remember is that, yeah, it's hard, but you are tenacious because you're doing something hard with all of the little supporting habits required to do that hard thing in the worst weather you are going to experience this year. You are amazing. Don't ever doubt it. And we'll be here on the Facebook page reminding you every single day. And you can hear our voices on the podcast reminding you at least twice a week. You are amazing. Do more of that magic jogging shit. It adds up. Nothing wrong with you. There never was. And hopefully in time, we'll make sure that you believe it too. So remember, the order of importance is strength, silly toes. Videos in the Facebook group if you need a silly toes refresher. And you are not, in fact, on Facebook, let me know. We will get the video to you. We're going to be putting some nicer ones in the YouTube channel shortly, but we're not there yet. Give us a little more time. Strength, silly toes, foam rolling, strides and accelerators, warm up, cool down, long run, harder stuff. That is on our Instagram at Fitness Protection LLC. You can download all these nice little pictures that we make with all this information in it. No need to stop the video and write it down. We do that for you. And if you forget, that's cool. There might be a book coming out at some point. I can neither confirm nor deny. But yeah, we like pictures. We're going to share pictures eventually. Just because we're not doing a lot of written stuff right now and giving it to you doesn't mean that we're not working on it. Okay? Remember, we don't need perfect. We need done. We need to be okay with the workouts that we don't do, because there are reasons, and those reasons are legit. Shame adds up and it weighs you down, and you've got too much to do to be carrying around big old bags of shame. Put them aside. Again, you're doing nothing wrong. Your fall race, if you are running one, don't worry about being behind too. That is going to be about whether you stayed in the game, whether you showed up, and it's not going to be about did you execute 100% of the plan, because frankly, the 75-90 rule applies. If you've been doing 75% of the work at least 90% of the time, then that's about all anyone expects you to do. Past that point, more isn't better. It's just more. Yay! I say don't work any harder than you have to. So if you miss a run here and there, it is not going to make or break your race. It is not going to make a tangible difference at all. What's going to make a difference on race day, if you've got a race coming up, is the fitness level on day 1 of your training plan, which most people, are terrible at assessing. But knowing that you've been here for at least 3 months, 2 months, at least hopefully 3, you've got a really big base. You got more than you think you do. Don't hesitate to throw it around, and don't worry about a little run here or there. One run here or there is not going to do anything to change the size of your base or really change the outcome of race day. So, if you're having fun with your family and you missed a run or two, that's great. Why would you miss time with your family? It's August, they're going back to school soon, and they're not going to want to talk to you very soon. So, if you get hit by the snuggle bus once or twice, go with that. Let it roll all over you and leave skid marks on your face. And then pick it up and try again tomorrow. It is all good. Turn the page. Be here again. Try tomorrow. And do not ever give up.